multiple picture story entry on a news, feature, or sports-related subject by at least 2 photographers.
Okay.
All right.
12 picture limit?
There is a 12 picture limit.
All righty. I smell orangey.
Only
You're
3.
better than me. I just had a handful of candy. Yeah, that's cool.
And then, like, there's only 3.
Okay.
Contact sheets, and then you can just
Cool.
Okay. The big game.
look at them all big.
Sure.
Interesting.
There's the overall in the church. Someone had it at least.
That crop, notice that crop on number 5 is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Must be the second or third photographer saying, hey, we need to crop this up. Can you go to the game, that third, can I see the caption on that third photo? Yeah.
Ohio State marching band waits to enter the field before the NCAA football game between Ohio State and Michigan and Ohio State on Saturday, November 24th, 2018.
I don't understand that.
It's like no M, no Michigan. Yeah, they should have noted that, but I'm pretty sure it's what they're.
Like they're really into rapping. I don't know. Okay.
Comparing the sports, do you guys like this or the golf better?
I think the golf has done really well. I'm not a golf fan, but this looks pretty complete. It gives me, for one, I don't know, is that Tiger down there?
Bottom left, yeah.
It's like I don't follow golf, but I know that's got to be Tiger Woods.
Just take a picture of Tiger Woods as he walks to the 10th tee, third round.
That's just kind of the effect that he has on golf. I just, but everything in this is really edited well. I mean, it's got a really good view of what it's like to go to one of these things. The one thing I'd say is it's a little distant. There's nothing that really brings me in close to anybody. I don't know if it's all shot with a long lens, but it sure looks like it is.
Number 8 makes that attempt. But I don't know if that's a successful image. And you know what he's doing. He's hiding behind the tree.
I like him.
You do?
Yeah, I like this. I like this frame. I don't know if I like this better than the football, but if you go back to the grid, I wish instead of number 3 we had. I don't think we really see into any of their eyes at all. This to me doesn't do a lot for me. This frame, and I wish just having shot some golf, using, there's a little bit of discussion with their caddies around the tee box or even on the green, but maybe some communication, some kind of strategizing, looking kind of more at their face. This, I think like with the tiger frame and him walking, that's a successful, not seeing the golfer, but it's more about the crowd. This looks like a Nike ad to me.
Yeah,
It doesn't add a lot,
right.
but yeah, go ahead.
Back to that vertical, the number 3. Yeah, if it's a Nike ad, they've even got the name of the competitor's golf ball sharpied out there on the ball. That's, haha, that was a
That's funny.
bad attempt at humor. Yeah.
I just think, the way it's shot is very well done. Now the other one, the football,
Yeah.
there's some, they got around and shot some interesting things. I think some of them, there may be a little redundancy in here. I don't know if I need to see 2 actions right next to each other.
Yeah.
The 4 and 5. That's a really nice action
good.
shot. This
That
one,
Good
yeah,
face
I like
mask.
that a lot.
the other one I know was probably a big play in the game. It's a sack, I guess, but I don't know. This one kind of dominates it.
Yeah, definitely. It seems more like we're varying the. Can we see the grid of it again? More like varied perspective. I think this one has more personality to it for sure. I like the last frame of Urban Meyer looking kind of cocky there at the end.
Smug.
Yeah, I think that sometimes this situation can turn into like a very messy, gross picture, but I think this one's pretty successful.
Yeah.
I like the
He's wearing
layers.
white. I mean,
yeah,
that's perfect.
yeah. The photographer, that's hard to be in a good position for this. You can see a lot of the other photographers around not in a great spot. And I like the stadium is such that the walls of people in red behind, I think, are nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't love the neon, but you can't do anything about that.
That 10, can you go back to the grid, please? That 10 shot, I love that one. That's just, yeah, they're going to do it, and here they come, and they're coming out, and, you know, it's not the, yeah, it's a nice moment. Can you go back to 7? I could, yeah.
I like it because it's the only
Yeah.
picture of a Michigan
Yeah.
player. Or can you go back to the grid and make sure I'm not wrong about this? I don't see any dejection from them. I don't, you're not getting a lot from them. And granted, this is, Ohio paper writing, shooting Ohio State. But I kind of like having at least that hint of the other team in there, in that frame.
I like a lot of the pictures. I just feel like the editing is a little redundant and maybe out of order. Like I would like to see it. They probably went. I don't know if they went game situation, like actual chronicle narrative of the game. I mean that feels like
That's what it looks
how
like
they
to
did
me,
it.
yeah.
But I don't know if that's for a fact that's what they did. But I just feel weird about having like a celebration shot and then the next shot is a celebration shot. And I mean, I like the fans getting into it. I would almost want to break those up and put the fans to break those two up. But having a boom, boom like that bothers me.
Could I see them all big? Just 2 seconds each.
And that quarterback fumble was probably the play of the game. I mean, I don't know, but
Pretty good job of covering a game.
yeah. We don't have football in Evansville.
Y'all have high school, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
Not
this.
No, big time.
Nothing's Ohio State, Michigan.
And
Yeah,
ours is at
nothing.
night always under bad lighting. This one has. It feels more real, than does, I don't know, where
Golf.
that golf course was. It's perfectly manicured and sanitized, and and that's the way these pictures feel. They're just really clean and well shot, and I can't really find a problem with them compositionally. They're all just kind of
I don't see
way
anybody
they're
hitting a
supposed to be.
golf ball.
and
Number one,
Okay, let me see that
so
one.
it looks like a tee
yeah,
shot.
Yeah, okay, that's a tee shot.
And it's a good opener. It's a good establisher.
And they're probably trying to be different,
Yeah.
to not throw in an action shot. The typical.
But I would say, yeah, I don't want to see a waist up tee shot in this. I don't want to see a boring putt. But if it's multiple people over the course of multiple days,
Yeah.
I think you could put in some sort of action, like
Good sand trap
a good
shot.
sand trap, something instead of 3. I think
Three is the weakest one.
3 bothers me.
Yeah.
But I think that I totally hear you, and I love sports stories that are around the action, not including it. But I think as far as this goes, I would have, or even for number 7, if we could see that, maybe
Another-
Tiger putting that same setup, don't move, but in
Yeah.
action.
That's kind of a nothing photo. I mean, it's clean, it's nice. You see the crowd, it's huge, but he's just kind of walking up. That him putting on that same thing.
Yeah.
And if you want to get nitpicky, it's kind of redundant having a picture of him walking up when the other picture said it so much better.
Yeah.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got to have a picture of Tiger, I mean, that's the one.
Eliminate that other Tiger shot
Yeah.
potentially. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just, I'm talking about the whole scheme of things here, the whole edit.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah, I want him there playing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great thought. That upper right one, I really like that shot. It's just a fan, just hanging out. I wish I could have gotten his name though. I don't know, a patron.
A sleeping man.
He's got his name badge right there. You can just go up and read the badge.
He's listening to tunes, too.
Yeah, he's got his Zamfir Master of the Pan flute going. Shout out to all my 50-year-old and up
Yeah.
people.
Is there one that rises to the top for you guys?
I guess we have to talk about the funeral again. If we look at it.
This is compared to the other two that we just saw, which some are the same images, but it's kind of refreshing to see a completely different take on it. I'm guessing this is the editor's take, what they thought was the better way to go. But there are some pictures in here that I'm seeing that we didn't see in the other two stories, and I really dig the closer. I mean, that's a really nice
Yeah.
pictorial showing 2 police officers died, and it's
Isn't that nice?
just nice.
Wow, it's horrible but nice.
Yeah,
I like the helicopters over the church as well.
helicopters.
Wish they'd slowed their shutter speed a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah,
You can't freeze those blades.
Yeah. But I think it says a lot, and it's very graphic.
and there's the interior of
The church.
but
Nobody.
where are the people? Was it not open to the public?
Yeah, it's the
Or are they just
initial
bringing them in
arrival.
for setup? And
Yeah.
they're going to bring the people in?
I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess my guess is they probably had that with people in it, but wanted this moment.
I think that's a really well-composed image.
I'm not
It's a
sure why
nice
they.
moment.
Yeah, it is. That salute. I'm not sure why they led with the image they did.
Let's
I'm not
see,
sure what the thought is there with doing that.
Well, they probably wanted to give that starting point, saying this is when it happened.
Yeah.
And it's the weakest image of all of them, and I'm just glad they didn't use the other picture as the lead. That was refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need.
Okay.
You need to worry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're discussing that number one photo just needs to be gone from there. And I mean, and there are several different ways to land the plane on this one. Number two, of course, number three, and to end it. Then go back to the grid, please.
That's a great picture.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
wanted to reiterate that.
Number 3 we liked.
That's that.
Yeah.
You know. So the question is, does that number one kill this whole thing?
I also think, as far as the editing goes, I really like 11 and 12. I don't like them next to each other at the end. I think 12 is an interesting way to end it. I think we all like this image. But if we're going to talk about editing, 11 I think could be in another place.
I think that would fit nicely after number 5.
Yeah.
You know.
But what the heck?
Yeah.
So does anybody have one they want to push for first?
No.
I mean, I like them all, but they all have
Sorry.
they all have their, their flaws here and there.
Yeah.
I guess to ease your process,
Mm.
because you talk about, every single one has flaws.
Mm.
I guess the question then becomes, which one's flaws don't impact it as much as the others?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So like, they all have issues, like,
Mhm.
but which ones are the least impactful to
And this is a first, second, and third, right?
the, well,
Whatever
This
we want.
isn't like
It's a first mandatory.
the only
Of the
thing you
year.
have to award is a first place in every category.
Yeah.
If you feel like there's one that like is your top one and it has like the fewest flaws in it, and then the other two are just kind of like they're equal, but they just don't rise to the level of that one, or their flaws are too large to overcome for you, you can just award first place. But the only thing you have to do is award first place in every category.
Okay.
I don't think there are any. I think all of these are probably placers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's just figuring out which order they're in.
Well, that's
Yeah, my case for the football game, if we pull that up, I agree that there's some redundancy. There's a lot of celebration, but flipping through this, I'm not. When I go to the funeral, when we look through that, I'm distracted by the edit, thinking like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I feel hung up on a few things flipping through it. Whereas with the football game, I'm like, all right, a lot of celebration, but it doesn't bother me as much if we're gonna kind of talk about it for a minute that way.
I don't want to say I'm opposite, but I
Okay.
feel the same way about this, that the editing is affecting this entry for me.
Okay.
Just the way it's put together, just the two actions together, then the cheering, and then the two, well, I guess you could call that a celebration shot in the end zone, and then the other guy's celebrating. It just felt like it could have been sequenced a little differently to where it would have worked a little better for me.
Okay.
With that being said, there are no really weak pictures in here.
Mm-hmm.
And the funeral has that first image that I just don't, it's hard to get behind that picture, and I think that's a pretty big flaw.
It's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the golf, which it's really solid, but it just, and it has a style,
Uh-huh.
but it feels sanitized to me, and maybe that is golf. It's not like the football that is more real and, to me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
gives me more of an emotional connection.
I feel like this. I'm waffling back and forth between this and golf. As a set, I like the golf images better, but that football set just I don't live here. I've never covered this game. And if I were, from a foreign country and had no idea of this rivalry, I would feel that this is a really important thing. And it's handled that well, and the journalists did a great job of telling that story. You get the scope and the magnitude and the size of this event really well, and I don't get that with the golf. If I had to make a case,
First?
I would make a case
Right
for
now?
football as one.
Yes.
Were you saying something else? Sorry, man. I
Nope.
thought
nope,
you were done.
That was it.
Vote on this in the first place.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 2 ends?
Yes.
Okay.
3 ends.
Three even.
Just to.
Yeah. No, I like this for first.
Mhm.
Okay, second.
I'm going this for 2.
Going golf.
I am.
Again, one of those apples and oranges things.
Yeah. That first image. Though.
I don't know if this is bad of me, but a lot of times I will put news over sports, just because I don't know. I think it's news. It's like in our paper. I mean, we have a priority. If it's news, that comes first. If it's sports, that comes next. Third is features. So it's just a pecking order, and it's just kind of been drilled into me. And because of this, the difficulty in photographing this whole thing and putting it together, I would probably put this in the second spot, even with the first image, because that wasn't really. I mean, it could have been edited out for sure, but.
I think we've seen a lot of images from this event today and maybe yesterday. And this collection and this edit, I have some issues with, more so than the golf edit. We've talked about number 1. I think number 4, the idea of it is good, but the line through the kid's face bothers me too. I think that the 2 pictorials to end it is not my favorite. Whereas I think as a team coverage, can we see the golf for a second? I've I think the pictures are, as a collection, better in this one.
That's how we'll move this along.
Yeah, I know. I'm still wrestling with myself.
Yeah, I think the funeral as an event is a heavier event, and some of the singles are very striking. But as a collection and as an edit, the golf comes together as a group better, for me.
And there are no, with the possible exception of 3, there are no dogs in this group.
Yeah.
3 and 7 potentially, but they're fine photos. They're okay.
And when you get down to it, that's what you got to go with, is the one with the least amount of flaws.
Yeah.
So I can nominate this for second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. This one for third.
Yes, this one for second.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's vote.
Yeah.
And this one for third.
Yes.
Yep. Are there notes that are applied at all?
What do you mean?
Written notes, do they get posted to the website?
They don't, but we can pass them along if
And that,
you like. Are they? Oh, you're on. Like, we're recording, so you can act on.
well, whoever put this together, you have to know not to put that first image. That's, I mean, we've said it, but I can't reiterate it enough. Okay, all right, I'm done.
That's it.
Just,
Yes.